Welcome back to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Sue. An estimated 75 million Americans worked from home over the past year, and it seems the option of working remotely is now a top priority for many of those people. The job matching site Recruiter.com reports that people say the option of working from home is nearly as important to them as their salary. Joining me now to talk about how the pandemic may permanently change the workplace is Rebecca Ryan, an economist and futurist. Rebecca, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Judy. Wonderful to be with you.
Okay, so let's talk about the future of the workplace a little bit here. What will remote work look like as we move beyond the pandemic? How important will that be to those future applicants to have that flexibility to work remotely?
It's a great question, and it's a win-win, because having a remote pool of workers is a win for the employer because it allows them to have more selection. And for the employee who wants or needs that kind of flexibility, it also opens them up to a lot of jobs that they might not have otherwise considered. So I think it's going to be here. It's going to persist because it's a win on both sides.
You know, and I'm sure a lot of people may be asking this, that why is it so important to still be able to remote work when we have been hearing during the pandemic that a lot about people feeling isolated from working at home, and some of them are really craving that interaction and coming back in person?
Yeah, for every person who's worked remotely, there is an associated experience. And so it's hard to just paint with one brush. When I think about the kinds of people who have been really deeply impacted, I think about women. You know, we've had more women leave the workforce than ever before. The Fed says we may have stepped back a decade in economic output as a result. And at least for women, being able to work remotely was a way for them to manage all of their home and personal responsibilities while also keeping a foot at work. So for them, having remote or a hybrid work arrangement, it's going to be one of the ways that we're going to be able to bring women back into the workforce in the future.
Well, I do want to follow up on that. Do you see companies doing differently now going forward to attract women to come back more? So remote working clearly has to be one of the options.
So your stat, right, on Recruiter, whenever there's a job posting, there's a location and then there's remote next to it. And the number of positions that are now allowing remote is going up and up and up. That is an overt attempt by employers to attract the best candidates, whether they're female or male. But I think one of the other things that employers are realizing is just how important childcare is to allowing women to come back to the workforce. So some employers are going to start lobbying their local and state governments to doing a better job of outfitting childcare providers. And other employers might even be putting childcare on site or near site at the physical location.
Now, let me also ask this. We heard from a few CEOs of major companies, say this in the last couple of weeks, that they want people back, right? You heard this. They want people back in person. How do you think that's going to pan out for these major corporations? And will they still consider maybe even a hybrid approach, right? Coming in a couple days and then working remotely a few days?
I think that's where the pendulum is going to end up settling, Judy, is on this hybrid arrangement where maybe everyone is expected in the office on Tuesdays through Thursdays, and they work from home Monday through Friday. 17% of employees said, if I'm forced to come back 5 days a week, I will quit.
We're downtown Chicago in the Loop, major, right, high rises with office space that have sat empty for a while now. How will that space change in the future to ensure people's safety and their comfort level?
Yeah, I mean, I think about some of the high-tech companies that I know that are down in the Loop, and their office environment had basically been completely open and very cramped. So imagine now people have fear of droplets and concerns about safety. So I imagine that people are going to get a little more personal space. Maybe we're going to see some partitions going back up, and the way that the collaboration space is being reworked as well. So this is the Wild West right now, frankly, around office redesign and how we are going to redesign for safety, collaboration, and of course, long range, how many people are going to be coming back to the office.
Okay, leave us with one more thought as we close out. What other things should we be looking out for as we head into the future post-pandemic?
A couple of things. Number one, trust. Employees demonstrated that there was no slide in productivity during the pandemic. They were able to do this successfully, to work from home. So if you're in an environment, if you as an employer are in an environment where your employees have proven to you that they are trustworthy to work from home, be careful about snapping the line too fast and requiring everybody to come back. Ask employees what they want. And from an employee perspective, about 56% of jobs can be done hybrid or remotely sometimes. And if you are an employee who doesn't feel that you have that flexibility, this may be a time to think about retooling so that you can be in a career position to work hybrid or to work remote if that's what works best for you and your family.
Great insight this morning. Rebecca Ryan, thank you for helping us look a little bit into the future right here. Thank you.
Thanks, Judy.
And that does it for Our Chicago. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now let's go back to the news desk.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.